Media recognition from Bloomberg, Reuters, recycling trade publications. Patented process for 100% recovery of critical metals, including cobalt, lithium, nickel, manganese, aluminum. American Manganese is focused on recycling lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles. American Manganese trades on the TSX Venture, AMY, the US, AMYZF, and Frankfurt 2AM. For more information, visit AmericanManganeseInc.com or phone me, Larry Ray, at 778-574-4444.
Welcome to the Goddard Report. Comments made on the Goddard Report and TalkDigitalNetwork.com are an expression of opinion only. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Jordan Bateman, Vice President of Communications and Marketing for the Independent Contractors and Business Association in BC. His website, icba.ca. Welcome back to the show, Jordan.
Thanks for having me.
Jordan, has construction been able to get along okay in British Columbia despite the virus?
Yeah, it really has. In fact, I've been out doing a number of site tours over the past couple of weeks, and we've been circling back to our members yet again now that the height of the pandemic is a couple of months behind us. And by and large, they have managed to continue working. Now, they're working differently. There's questionnaires, of course. There is masks at most work sites. There's a lot more attention to personal hygiene, to how you're feeling when you're arriving, all those important things. But yeah, construction has continued. We've seen maybe a 10 or 15% contraction in the number of workers. But most of the sites I go to, the companies tell me that they would love to hire more folks, but they just can't get bodies there. So construction has held up pretty well. Now, where we're a little worried is everyone's still working on their 2020 order books and trying to see where they're headed in 2021. That's where we're seeing a lot fewer tenders on especially private projects. Government projects still being tendered somewhat. There's definitely a slowdown, but it's not cataclysmic. But the lack of private tenders right now tells us that a lot of private owners are waiting to see is there a second wave this fall? Just, what kind of state will their finances and investments be, and what kind of demand there will be for their construction projects before they send it out to tender. So, we're doing okay right now, but 2021, anyone who thinks 2021 is going to be a big bounce back year nationally and economically might want to think twice about that.
Is that because people just don't know what the future holds, so they don't want to plan for it?
That's exactly it. I mean, if you already have a contract with a construction company, you're pursuing that because that's already in place. But no one really knows. If there's no one knows how long this will go. If there's no vaccine, if the treatments continue to be only marginally effective, where do we go from here? Will there actually be a transformation in the way people conduct their business? Is Zoom here to stay? Is working off site here to stay, or is that just a fad that will disappear as soon as a vaccine pops up? That affects office space. With retail, there are so many businesses on the edge. So many businesses have already closed. The question is, we expect a lot more renovation work next year, if there's any retail work, as far as getting, existing places fitted out for new businesses. But, it would be hard to justify building a new facility right now, given this market. So, there is some construction continuing on. Amazon continues to build at a rapid rate. Walmart came out this week and said they're going to spend $3.5 billion on construction over 5 years and renovation across Canada, including a big facility in Surrey. So there is some high points, but we need more of those private companies stepping forward, especially the ones with deep pockets who know they're here to stay. Have them start investing in the infrastructure they're going to need to serve their customers.
Are governments helping out here?
Well, every government's different. I would say the BC government has played it very close to the vest so far. They're still surveying for ideas as to how to manage their $1.5 billion in funds that they've set aside to help. The feds have been a little bit better, but they've realized that the wage subsidy, for example, was flawed, so they've they're changing the rules on that to try to get more pickup. They need to figure out what they're going to do with the CERB. Are they going to ratchet that down and slowly push people off of that guaranteed government income and into work? We'd like to see, government's also deferred a lot of taxes. They haven't forgiven a lot of taxes, which creates these, what we call deferral cliffs, where all of a sudden your PST for 6 to 9 months is due and you're cash strapped because you haven't been working in the past, 4 months. That's a big problem as well. So governments could certainly do more. Governments could also get out of the way, cut red tape, cut taxes, you could supercharge the economy fairly quickly if you were willing to make those kind of decisions. But unfortunately, the NDP, continue to add more layers to WorkSafe, continue to, tinker with red tape all over the place. That actually doesn't really help businesses going forward.
We'll have more with Jordan Bateman right after this.
Aben Resources Limited is a gold exploration company with significant projects in British Columbia and the Yukon, trading on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol ABN, and the OTCQB, symbol ABNAF. Surrounded by world-class gold deposits and mines, Aben's 23,000 hectares Forest Kerr Gold Project is located in the heart of the Golden Triangle in northwestern BC. For more information, visit us at abenresources.com.
Engineer Gold Mines is focused on the exploration and development of the historic high-grade Engineer Gold Mine situated 32 kilometers southwest of Atlin, British Columbia. Engineer Gold Mines is fully permitted for surface and underground exploration with the drill program now underway. Engineer Gold Mines Limited trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol EAU. For more information, please visit us at engineergoldmines.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Jordan Bateman. Jordan, are there certain sectors that are waiting for help, need the help, and deserve the help?
Well, if you're in tourism or arts and culture, or you're a faith-based organization, you must just be reeling. Tourism came out this week with the industry and said, we need $680 million in BC just to keep afloat. And you think about it, Jim, who's traveling? You have British Columbians traveling, but most of them are going, camping. There's, huge draws on provincial campgrounds, but there isn't a lot of, that high-end tourism, going to that, the fancy fishing lodge or, touring the Haida Gwaii on an eco tour. It's all pretty close to home, and it's all very low price because people are trying to save money because, frankly, lots of people are out of work or concerned about, where the economy is headed. So tourism is just getting rocked, and the BC government's done nothing to help them. They send conflicting messages about, when we should travel, who we should travel, where we should travel, what we should do when we travel. None of that is helpful to these businesses, so they're reeling. Arts and culture is another set where, I defy you to go through any of the economic briefings, any of the health briefings that have been given over the past 4 months in British Columbia. You're not going to find the words arts and culture anywhere in there. These groups are just devastated because, they can't do person-to-person lessons, they can't do shows, they can't do galleries, they can't do concerts, so, can't do live theater. So they are absolutely reeling as well. And then you have churches and temples and faith-based charities who depend on gatherings, who depend on fundraisers. They're not getting anywhere either. So there's a lot of industries. Our construction folks often talk about how they feel fortunate that they are in construction at this point because at least they were allowed to keep working. They had to change some practices, but they were able to keep going. There are a lot of industries that are reeling and don't have that option.
We'll have more with Jordan Bateman right after the break.
Cypress Development Corp. is developing a world-class lithium resource in the heart of Clayton Valley, Nevada. The size of the resource makes the Clayton Valley project a premier asset with the potential to impact the future of lithium supply. Cypress Development Corp. trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol CYP, the OTCQB, symbol CYDVF, and on Frankfurt, symbol C1Z1. For more information, please visit our website, cypressdevelopmentcorp.com.
Don't miss out. Stay informed. Receive the HowStreet.com weekly recap with thought-provoking podcasts, radio, and articles delivered to your inbox. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage at HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Jordan Bateman. Jordan, are there certain businesses that should just be allowed to wither and die if they can't survive on their own? I'm thinking about the airline industry. Why should it be bailed out? They could just be sold off, reinvented. It's not like airlines haven't gone under before and somebody else pops up in their place.
It's always easy to say that kind of stuff in theory, but then in practice you think about the folks who would suffer. And, it's never the CEOs or the fat cats who suffer, right? It's the rank and file workers. So, we do need to kind of keep that in mind that, like, it is damaging to families. I think of small businesses, and I think you and I have talked about this before, Jim, where there are people who are going out of business, losing everything right now, not because they did something wrong, not because they didn't have a great menu or a great service, not because they didn't have the right location, not because they didn't have a dedicated clientele. They're simply being choked to death because of these restrictions and this virus. There's no way they could have anticipated this pandemic. And, they'll spend, a decade or more trying to dig themselves out of this financial hole. Like, that's the heartbreaking one for me, is those small business owners who are paying themselves, less than minimum wage, but they believe so strongly in their company, in their little business, in their idea, and they believe in their team, that they get, pay themselves less and put everything back into the business, and now they're losing everything. So it's so hard. I mean, there's not enough government money, there's not enough debt that taxpayers can take on, there's not enough tax dollars we can pay to keep everyone whole in this, which is why we've got to demand strong accountability, put strong accountability measures on our levels of government to make sure the money they are spending is going to help people and going to actually, keep jobs and try to get the economy up off the mat.
You were saying that some construction companies are still short of help. What's the story there?
Yeah, especially laborers. So, kind of that entry-level position, those folks who are on a construction site and help you clean up or move stuff from point A to point B, they're having real problems getting a hold of them. So I toured an elementary school in South Surrey a couple of weeks ago, talking to the company there, and, he said, the project manager said, I probably could have, normally I'd have 20, maybe 25 laborers on site. That's on top of the skilled trades folks. Just kind of helping fill in gaps. He said, most days I'm lucky to get 5. There just aren't, we've lost a number. There's a number that are on CERB, so they're no longer looking for temporary day labor. The problem is CERB, which is that guaranteed income of $2,000 a month that the federal government pays out, only allows you to make $1,000 on top of that. So, even if you are industrious, you get to your $1,000 limit and you're like, well, now I'm basically working for free. That doesn't make sense. So government needs to start ratcheting down the amount of the guaranteed payment every month and increasing the amount of money that people can make that's exempt from that, in order to sort of tilt the balance back and push people off to work.
What about skilled trades? Can people still get the training they need for certain trades that are still in demand, and what trades are those?
Yeah, absolutely. So trades, our training, icba.ca/courses, you can see we have a whole mix of training. We've restarted some in-person training under very strict safety conditions. We also offer online on-demand courses, and then we also have set up webinars at set times for a number of our courses. So there is definitely training still going on. Apprenticeship numbers actually are as high as ever. ICBA is the single largest sponsor of trades apprentices in the province. We're now around 1,300 just at ICBA, and then thousands more at the companies who are our members. All that is still continuing on. Honestly, there are a ton of jobs to be had, and anyone who's looking for work and is physically able should consider construction. In fact, if you go to icba.ca/jobs, you can actually put in a resume, get hired in a variety of trades or just as a laborer just to start, get your foot in the door and go from there. We have companies that call us every day looking for workers. So there's opportunities there for people. The question is, when are these people going to pull the trigger and try to get this work and make sure that their financial future is secure even if the CERB goes away?
Is trades training taking place right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's taking place it's changed. I mean, there isn't 20 people in a classroom. But it's still taking place hands-on work sites. It's taking place online. Trades training is continuing. It is underway. And again, if people are interested in getting into the trades, icba.ca/jobs can help.
And if people are interested in getting trades training, where can they go to get more information?
Yeah, so lots of different spots. I would start with icba.ca/training. That's our training department that overlooks both professional development and then apprenticeships. That's a great place to start. There's information there on, if you're interested in apprenticing, we can even help you find a company that will take you on. There's always a demand for young, smart, not even young, smart, physically able folks to come and work in these companies.
Jordan, thank you so much for chatting with us.
Thanks for having me.
My guest has been Jordan Bateman, Vice President of Communications and Marketing for the Independent Contractors and Business Association. His website, icba.ca. If you have any questions for Jordan or any of our other guests, you can send them to info@howstreet.com. Our YouTube channel is Talk Digital Network. Find us on Twitter @TalkDigitalNet. We're also on Facebook. I'm Jim Goddard. Thank you for listening.
Comments made on the Goddard Report and TalkDigitalNetwork.com are an expression of opinion only. The Goddard Report is available online and mobile at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. The Goddard Report is a production of Howe Street Media Incorporated.